Good evening from San Ignacio. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. Supreme Court Justice Shauna Griffith this morning agreed to grant permission for leave to apply for judicial review in respect to a writ of mandamus in favor of Lucilio Tech against the Sugar Industry Control Board. Justice Griffith indicated at the very start of proceedings that she was inclined to do this because she felt the case has sufficient merit to move forward. However, there was one hurdle to overcome in the form of an objection raised by SICB attorney, senior counsel Rodwell Williams. According to Williams, the claim, as filed by attorneys for Tech, Audrey Matura Shepherd and Anthony Sylvester, was irretrievably flawed, as the claim included substantive relief, particularly declarations that could not be granted at this preliminary stage. He asked that the matter be struck out as it was impossible to cure the alleged defects within the application, which had been presented on an urgent fixed date claim form filed under the civil procedure rules of the court. There followed a back and forth between Williams, Sylvester, the attorney for interested party BSI ASR Michael Young, and attorney representing interested party the BSCFA senior counsel Amon Courtney. But in the end, Justice Griffith said she was satisfied that while not on the exact form prescribed in law, the application was substantively grounded and could proceed as presented. The substantive hearing on the claim is set for February 23rd, which is 6 weeks from today. However, according to Matura Shepherd, they will endeavor to file the formal suit of the claim immediately and proceed to fast-track the case, given the urgency of the circumstances.
The way it works is that many times on a technical point, attorneys who want to defeat an issue will take a technical point, which is what they did. And there was an error on the application in terms of the number of the form, but the substance of it clearly shows what the intention was. Under the rules, what we call the overriding objective, the court then has a discretion to look at the fairness of the situation and say, will I make just one technicality, make this matter not move forward, or will I apply my discretion and make it move forward? The court applied its discretion and says that the hearing for permission is granted, therefore we can now go to the substantive matter. The substantive matter now is where now we get to put forward the actual case, which in many ways will be similar to the one that we already had, but there's additional evidence we can give.
The claimants must serve notice of the substantive claim by January 26th, although Matura Shepherd indicated it would be in by Friday of next week because of the urgent nature of the case. All evidence must be in by February 17th in advance of a February 23rd hearing date, scheduled to start at 10 o'clock in the morning on that same date. Matura Shepherd told reporters that she expected government authorities and their ally, BSI, to do as much as they can to frustrate and delay the process of the hearing. While she cannot control that, she said she fulfilled her job on behalf of Mr. Tech to provide a legal forum in which to challenge both the commercial agreement, which remains unsigned, and the apparent decision of the government to refuse to compel BSI, ASR, and the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association to settle on a date for the start of the much-delayed 2014-2015 crop season. She indicated that government has a vested interest as part owner of BSI and as controller of the board in determining how and when to proceed, and maintain that for its own selfish purposes, the government has been misleading and bullying cane farmers into believing that they have no other choice than to sign the agreement that is now, so that the crop can proceed. Leaders of the Cane Farmers Association, Alfredo Ortega and Ezekiel Cancino, hold differing views as to the worth of this process and the procedure moving forward. Cancino said he still holds that the agreement should be signed even against the wishes of his fellow cane farmers. According to Cancino, the delay in hearing offers ample time for farmers inclined to signing the agreement to break away from the association in order to do so. According to Cancino, who heads the San Esteban branch of the association, his branch members have indicated a willingness to follow this path. However, if it is at all possible, he would want the full association to proceed together. Ortega, meanwhile, says that all of this could have been avoided if the government of Prime Minister Dean Barrow was willing to sit down with all of the association in order to hear their concerns, as farmers believe that with his comments yesterday, he has sided with BSI-ASR and against them. He said that rather than attempting to call out individual leaders, such as Ortega, as being hindrances, the government must act on behalf of the farmers he claims to support. The association is asking only for what they believe is rightfully theirs. Meanwhile, the National Trade Union Congress of Belize has issued a statement encouraging members of the BSCFA to remain united. The NTUCB says that there is what it calls a plot that has been skillfully weaved and orchestrated to divide the farmers and break up the association. The statement says that, and we quote, whilst this Congress is being accused of leading the association blindly, the NTUCB absolutely refuses to buckle under the name calling, end of quote. The NTUCB says that its support of the cane farmers remains firm and will do what it can to ensure the longevity of the BSCFA and secure the best for the members of the association. NTUCB says it does not want to see the cane farmers relegated to mere cane cutters and encourages them to stand firm, knowing that the organization is rallying with the cane farmers to, quote, see the debacle through to the best possible outcome, end of quote. Less than a week after winning the by-election for Cayo North constituency, Omar Figueroa is headed for a cabinet-level post. Today, the government press office issued a release announcing that Prime Minister Dean Barrow, at a special meeting, informed ministers that he intends to appoint Figueroa as a Minister of State in the office of the Prime Minister. The official release says that Figueroa will be sworn in on Monday by the Governor General. He will take the oath of office as a member of the House of Representatives at the next sitting of the lower house of Parliament. In other news from the government today announced that there is a high level of interest in Belize from Mexico. The basis for the claim, according to a press release, is the volume of persons visiting the Facebook page of the Belize Embassy in Mexico, which was launched last November. The official release says that 10,000 likes and an average of 6,000 visits per day is an indication of, quote, a high level of interest in learning more about Belize, what the country has to offer, and the positions the page as an important platform for promoting Belize, end of quote. GOB says that the Facebook page targets the Mexican market exclusively for the promotion of investment and tourism. In this regard, producers, hotel and tour operators who are interested in entering the Mexican market are being encouraged to contact the Belize Embassy in Mexico for assistance. The 9 o'clock news will return after these messages.
We all have our bucket list and plan to start fulfilling them someday.
Anytime now. Don't worry, babe. You can do it.
Go, Mom! You can do this!
Why not turn someday into today with an easy credit personal loan? Atlantic Bank can make it happen. We offer loans at competitive interest rates with low monthly payments for all your financing needs, because life should be easy.
How was it, Mom? It was good.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of MyTV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. MyTV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
When I exercise, I do only the most rigorous and complex techniques to challenge my body and keep it at its best. When I am building my body strength, I go for the heavy weights to keep my muscles challenged. When I prepare my meals, I make sure everything is fresh and tap into all my food groups. When I need internet service, I use Smart Zoom service to ensure reliability and speed. I am Rigo Veos, two-time Mr. Belize. I use only the best. I choose smart, and so should you.
You are watching the 9 o'clock news on the national channel. A quick look at the headlines now. Supreme Court Justice Shauna Griffith this morning agreed to grant permission for leave to apply for judicial review in respect of a writ of mandamus in favor of Lucilo Tech against the Sugar Industry Control Board. Prime Minister Dean Barrow today announced that Cayo North Area Representative Omar Figueroa will be appointed as a Minister of State. Figueroa will be sworn in on Monday by the Governor General. The Public Utilities Commission has released its initial decision in the 2014-2015 full tariff review proceeding for Belize Water Services Limited, in which it recommends a 2% average rate increase over current tariffs to support the revised business plan approved by the regulator. The average rate approved, $17.49 per 1,000 gallons, is based on a projected consumption of 12 million gallons of water and is 8 cents lower than the projected tariff in 2010-2011 at $17.57, but higher than the average adjusted rate of $17.15. The minimum bill for water consumers in the major municipalities outside of Belize City, Belmopan, San Pedro, and Caye Caulker goes up to $8.72. Belize City and Belmopan residents pay $10.47. San Pedro residents $25.57, and Key Cocker $23.46. But this increase is not set in stone, as the annual review proceeding allows the PUC to regulate actual increases and decreases in rates based on circumstances. PUC Chairman John Avery explains.
If you look at the decision, each year, based on the investments being made, based on the expected consumption of a certain thing, we have a different average tariff for each year. We would not want to set a rate that is designed to be changed 5 times within 5 years. And so we try to set a rate that will last for the 5 years if the forecast hold out to be accurate.
So it depends more or less on the forecast.
It depends on the actual performance over each year, whether or not we need to make adjustments in order to keep the company on track.
The increase does not reflect any adjustments to currently approved fees and charges. BWS submitted for a 5% increase on average based on planned investments of $108.6 million, but the PUC reduced the figure over concerns about the viability of some of the investments. Avery says that the Commission must be ready to take everything into account. BWS and interested parties representing users of at least 10% of the annual quality of water supplied by BWS in the preceding year may submit written comments by close of business on January 23rd. If there are not any, the initial decision becomes final. A 17-year-old from Belize City has been arrested and charged for the crime of keeping a firearm and ammunition without a gun license. Due to his age, the minor cannot be named, but police say he was busted with a 9mm handgun on Thursday by officers on mobile patrol. Police say that they saw 2 persons riding on a scooter without license plates on Farbers Road and stopped them. Police say that as the duo was stopped, they saw when the passenger on the scooter took out a chrome handgun from his pocket and threw it on the ground. As it turns out, it was a 9mm Smith & Wesson brand handgun with 7 rounds of matching ammunition in a magazine. Police alerted the passenger of the firearm and asked for a gun license, which he could not produce. As a result, the 17-year-old was arrested and charged. The police operation to remove guns from the streets of Belize City continues. A 24-year-old man is in police detention pending investigation of a burglary. An 18-year-old student residing at a house on Partridge Street in Belize City reported to police that sometime between 9:30 and 10:30 on Thursday morning, her house was burglarized. The thief reportedly took electronic and personal items with a total value of $408. Police say they have since recovered the items and detained a man who lives on Raccoon Street Extension pending charges. The 9 o'clock news will return with a look at the weather after these messages.
We all have our bucket list and plan to start fulfilling them someday.
Anytime now. Don't worry, babe. You can do it.
Go, Mom! You can do this!
Why not turn someday into today with an easy credit personal loan? Atlantic Bank can make it happen. We offer loans at competitive interest rates with low monthly payments for all your financing needs, because life should be easy.
How was it, Mom? It was good.
Atlantic Bank, building the future together.
When I exercise, I do only the most rigorous and complex techniques to challenge my body and keep it at its best. When I am building my body strength, I go for the heavy weights to keep my muscles challenged. When I prepare my meals, I make sure everything is fresh and tap into all my food groups. When I need internet service, I use Smart Zoom service to ensure reliability and speed. I am Rigo Veos, two-time Mr. Belize. I use only the best. I choose smart, and so should you.
My dad never misses a football match.
Me neither.
Are you enjoying this game or what?
I'm loving every minute of it.
I can't miss this game, but I can't see it either.
Here, now you can. The game's on me.
Now, wherever there's internet, you don't have to miss a single minute of TV. And the best part of MyTV is it costs as little as $10 monthly for Central TV and Internet's customers. With 25 channels at your fingertips, you'll always be tuned in. MyTV is available only at Central TV and Internet. Log on and discover a new world of mobile TV.
Hey, do you happen to have a beer?
Somebody say live the life. Live the life. Somebody say live the life. Somebody say live the life. Live the life. Live the life.
It was mostly cloudy today here in San Ignacio, and the forecast is for cloudy skies at times tonight. The relative humidity is currently 90%, and a few showers will affect the country tonight, but tomorrow there will be a gradual increase. The low temperature tonight in the interior of the country will be around 64 degrees Fahrenheit, and the sun will rise at 6:26 in the morning. Tomorrow will be mostly cloudy, with the expected high temperatures to be around 82 degrees Fahrenheit inland and 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast. Winds over the open sea and along the coast will be northeasterly at 10 to 20 knots, becoming gusty near showers. The sea state will be choppy, but at times becoming locally rough. Operators of small craft should exercise caution in rough seas. The extended forecast, valid through to Sunday, is for cloudy skies with some outbreaks of showers and isolated thunderstorms, especially along the coast. And that is a look at the weather, with information provided by forecaster Francisca Wellington at the Belize Weather Bureau. And now to end the news, a reminder of the main points again. The Supreme Court has granted permission for leave to apply for judicial review in respect to a writ of mandamus in favor of Lucilo Tech against the Sugar Industry Control Board. And the Public Utilities Commission has released its initial decision in the 2014-2015 full tariff review proceeding for Belize Water Services Limited, in which it recommends a 2% average rate increase. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Our news lines remain open at all times, and you can visit our website for continuing coverage of the latest news happening all over Belize. Join us again on Monday for another newscast. Thank you for watching. I am Patrick Jones. Have a safe and an enjoyable weekend.